Right then, so predictions. Yeah. So that's never happened before. 3 weeks of Christmas in a single year. Gonna be brutally honest with you, I don't really expect much. But with what we see here, only 8 skins in this rush store. Maybe it's in anticipation for what's happening next week. So let's talk about next week very quickly. Guys, I'm sure many of you are well aware, next week is, of course, 2025. But more specifically, next Thursday will be the January 2nd rush store rotation, the January update. Gentlemen, we are expecting potentially a lot of people playing next week. I'm sure you've been keeping an eye on the commits. I'm sure you're probably well prepared for the idea that we're going to get the primitive game mode being introduced next week, and there very likely will be a lot of very curious people wanting to jump in and, of course, play the game. By default, Forcewipe, but with a brand new update, with a brand new game mode, with all the brand new primitive content that's being introduced. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're seeing a lot of very curious people jumping in, and I am expecting more than 200,000 people playing for the peak player count. Now, with the very strong player count at the moment, with it being post-Christmas already, we're already noticing certain skins getting bought out. Anything that's a whiteout alternative, white camouflage, you name it, it's reaching a new all-time high price. Whiteout face mask, for example, as I scroll down over to here, you can see it's now currently at its newest all-time high price. A buyout happened just over the past 2 days, and it just keeps going up and up and up and up. Now, if I were to look at the comics skins, take for example this AK, one off from $14, that also reached its newest all-time high price. And if you were to go over and take a look at the front page of the Steam market, please do this frequently. I'm constantly seeing white clothing and armor. I'm constantly seeing camouflage skins getting bought out. Arctic Camo Poncho is sitting here with only 33 listings. It's at its all-time high price as well, as you can see. Ridiculous, but this is post-Christmas. Loads of people buying out skins. More people playing a game, more demand for skins, higher skin prices. Simple as. So at the moment, the more desirable meta skins are getting bought out. Okay, totally understandable. But next week, with a lot more people hopefully playing, all skins are expected from now on to, sell for very nice prices. So I definitely recommend to you right now, go through your inventories and keep track of all the skins that you have. Go check on their sales history. Go and see if they're selling at their all-time high price. They might not be selling at their all-time high price right at this instance, but you know what? Maybe, just maybe, the price is good enough for you. But please also take this into consideration. If you happen to own a lot of a certain skin, don't unload everything all in one go. Sell them in batches of 3 to 5. Ride the wave of momentum. If you unload every single thing all in one go, you are most likely going to cause it from, collapsing and not going up in price even higher. So you do have to take these considerations, and you have to be fairly careful. I'm looking at this Black Diamond face mask at the moment. It's cruising upwards. Honestly, it could very likely keep going up and up and up and match up to its all-time high price from back in October. I'll wait it out. But if I wanted to sell now, I would only list about 3 to 5, because I can't help but assume it will keep rising up in price. So that's just an example. You need to go through your inventories in your own time right now and consider making sales or waiting it out a little bit longer. I am under the impression January 2nd probably might be the peak, considering we might, I'm expecting at least 200,000 people playing. Now, with that, I'm also considering that first weekend, kids aren't going back to school just yet, and people probably won't be working very hard, not until the 6th. So those first few days in January, post-Christmas, I'm pretty sure that'll be where we'll see the peak prices. Cool. You've been informed. Right then, so that's for all skins in general, but we're here for a predictions video, Hedge. Yeah, I know, but with all these skins here, I've got to be brutally honest with you. Like, over the past 2 weeks, we've already talked about Christmas skins, and I've already made mention to you that all of these Christmas skins are fully expected to go down in price pretty quickly once it's out of season. And give it a week, it's out of season. Now, we know for a fact that pretty much all brand new Christmas skins drop down in price and reach a rock bottom price around February, March, April, the spring season, the Easter dip. It's unfortunate, but this happens routinely every single year. However, some of these skins, whilst they'll go down in price, probably won't go down in price that badly. And in anticipation to next year's Christmas, yeah, it does happen, people will slowly and graciously buy out these skins little by little, bit by bit, and these skins will slowly and graciously rise up in price ever so nicely. So, okay, fair enough, cool. I'm looking at all of these skins, and I'm going to make considerations what potentially will not go down in price that badly. And I'll be honest with you, it's going to probably be this crossbow. I don't think we've had a Christmas crossbow ever, and I also want to get this point across. We've only had 3 crossbow skins accepted in all of 2024. I'm not joking. We used to get quite a lot. As you can see, loads. This year, 3. But here's another interesting detail. The lowest listed one at the moment is $1.30. Now, this brand new ornament Christmas crossbow, feel free to go ahead and watch my rust rotation video to get a much closer look at it. It's nice, it's shiny, it's colourful, it looks good. This is made by the skin creator behind the whiteout and the blackout collection. He's done a fantastic job of this, so I can't help but assume people will appreciate it in anticipation to next year's Christmas. Right then, so how might you want to approach it? Well, I do still think it'll go down in price. It's just, I don't think it's going to be that bad. Now, I also have to bring this up. You see all the skins here? You might notice they're not really selling that much. It's been about 8 hours since the rust rotated, and yeah, after 2 weeks of Christmas already, people are kind of fatigued. People just not really that bothered. I would not be surprised in the slightest if all of these skins sell quite a fair bit less compared to the previous Christmas skins, and maybe in the future that works out ever so nicely for these skins because there's only so many of them to go around. Cool. So keep an eye on this. It's not abnormal. However, maybe it might be a pretty interesting thing to consider buying. By all means, if you like it, buy it, use it, enjoy it. But if you're wanting to make an investment, wait it out. Wait until next Wednesday at the very least. So, all right, cool. That's an interesting looking crossbow. But with these remaining skins, what am I thinking now? Well, I think I probably will talk about the Krampus bolt-action rifle. Now, we don't get too many of these, but this year we have had 2 Twitch drops, and this is the third marketable skin to be accepted this year. We've had the Junkernaut bar, we've had the Cell bolt-action rifle. Yeah, you get the point. In total, we only have 36 of these, but I think this is actually the first ever Christmas-themed bolt-action rifle. Oh, we've had Granny's bolt. Well, that's not super flashy. Anyway, consider watching my rust rotation video to get a good close-up look at this because the design of it, awesome. The Krampus design, the arms sticking out and whatnot, that looks cool. And I also don't think it's going to sell that much. As of now, it's the top-selling skin out of the batch, but it's only got 4,000 subscribers at the moment. Not fully sure where that's going. However, if it doesn't sell too much, all the better for it to rise up in price in the future. And in anticipation to next year's Christmas, keep an eye on it. Yes, it might drop down to a rock-bottom price around February, March, April, but I do expect it to graciously rise up in price ever so slowly and probably peak at a nice price around November, December next year. So something to consider. A smart barter can lead to some nice long-term success. Oh, yes, indeed. All right, then. Now, looking at the remaining skins, I'm probably going to talk about the Neon Christmas Large Box. Mr. Epic is pretty successful at what he does. He doesn't do too much, but he does pretty good at what he does. Last year with the small box collection, Easter, Halloween, and Christmas. This year for the large box collection, Easter, Halloween, and Christmas. So, I have no idea what he's planning to do next year, but I wouldn't doubt that he'll probably be successful doing that again next year as well. Okay, fair enough. We'll see what happens next. But this small box has done very nicely once we've reached around November. At the moment, $3. You might think, oh, just because it spiked in price today. No, it actually spiked in price quite a fair bit, like back in October. 1 minute of selling for $1.50, the next minute selling close to about $3. Now, it's had a pretty good December. As you can see, that worked out very nicely. Next year, do you reckon the large box will do the same? And also consider this. Last year, that did 15,600 subscribers. How much do you reckon this is going to do? Because I really don't think it would be doing a similar amount. I really don't think this would be close to 15,000 subscribers. That's a very rough generalized estimate right now, okay? I can't give you a good estimate at the moment, but keep an eye on this, all right? It's abnormal. We can chase after that next week, but that's it, really. So keep an eye on it. A perfectly fine Christmas neon design, and yeah, it should be okay, but it'll probably still drop down in price a fair bit. Again, with the small box, how low did you go? And you reached rock bottom at about $1. Maybe the large box will also go down to around $1. All right then, fair enough. Okay, so we'll move on from here. So looking at the remaining skins, I think with the backpack, I don't think it'll sell that much. Now, this is the first time we've seen a backpack sell for the standard price of $1.49. Face Punch treats it as a deplorable, so $1.49 is the standard price. This is not abnormal, but I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up becoming the lowest selling backpack skin out of the entire batch that we currently have. But of course, 2025 is just around the corner, and I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing even more backpack skins after this. Oh, yes. But free Christmas backpack skins. Which one will work out the best? The nice present theme one, the white snowman one, or the brown gingerbread man one? I'm still probably thinking that'll be the one that'll work out best. I think people will treat that as a nice white option to go with their whiteout collection, competing with No Mercy, of course. But yeah, maybe you will work out fine because you'll just sell next to nothing. Last week, this did 12,600 subscribers. What will this do? Feel free to comment below your estimate. But yeah, okay then. It's interesting, but it'll very likely still be like a 60 cent to 80 cent buy order. We'll see what rolls out. We'll see what happens. But yeah, all right, cool. Now, with the remaining skins, with the Python and the AK-47, 60 cents to 80 cents. I'm very sorry, but it's inevitable. Like, take a quick look at the Pythons, and you'll see throughout all of this year, every single one that came out, unfortunately, yep, oh dear. I know, it's a bit unfortunate. And then the AKs, I mean, we talked about this last week. We literally had an AK the previous week, and now we've got another one. Yeah, I fully expect that the brand new AK will just be a 60 cent to 80 cent barter. Sorry to say, but yeah, I've seen this happen before. Right then, I will now talk about the Snowfall door. For what it is, it's a perfectly fine, straightforward neon design. That's cool. However, I've seen this happen before. Take one quick look about 2 years ago, and you'll see we had a very interesting, colourful neon design for a sheet metal door for Christmas, and it went down to about 80 cents and never really recovered. So scroll. What do I see? Oh, there you go, 2022 neon tree frozen door, and right now it's currently selling for to the equivalent of 90 cents, I think. Let me just quickly fix this. Yep, there you go. And throughout all of its lifespan, it's just never really done well. It sold for $2.49, and it's basically been hovering around less than $1 throughout all of its existence. Last Christmas, it did kind of work out a little bit better, but not this year. So, yeah, will this suffer the same fate? Or maybe, with a sheer lack of sales, which could potentially happen, maybe this works out quite nicely. We shall see. But by default, looking at the behaviour of all the sheet metal doors that came out this year, I can't help but assume it would be going down to less than $1. It will probably be a 50 cent to 70 cent buy order. Last week's Anime Girl sheet metal door sold over 30,000, but that's in demand. See, that's got an Anime Girl in it. I don't see any Anime Girls in this one. Case closed. And then we have the gingerbread wooden door. Not exactly selling that much, but it is a bit odd that they've accepted a gingerbread wooden door when they're currently giving away a gingerbread wooden door as a Twitch drop. Good job, Face Punch. Anyway, so, okay, maybe that doesn't sell too much. But don't forget what happened earlier this year. With a sheer lack of sales, we had the Easter Farm door. That only did 3,000 subscribers. And I'm sure many of you are well aware that this got manipulated like crazy throughout all of this year. It has kind of like stopped right now, but at one point it was like stuck at $25 because there was a group of people manipulating it and just keeping it at that price. Then they gave up on it. Then they kind of returned to it, and now they're giving up on it again. Don't fully know what they're doing, but hey, if we could see something very similar happening to this wooden door, considering this is currently being given away at the same time, maybe, just maybe, that might be an interesting thing to consider buying, purely with the speculation that maybe that also gets manipulated at some point, maybe immediately like the Easter Farm door. We shall see. That's all speculation. There are no guarantees, and by default, wooden doors that don't get used enough, and with the wooden door skins, pretty much every single one of them that came out recently has gone down in price pretty badly. So, yeah. Don't assume by default it'll be fine. Yeah, maybe just better off with Wilder. So that's it. I mean, honestly, guys, out of everything in this rush store, you're probably just better off just buying some Festive Garlands, honestly. Like, yeah, they'll probably go down in price a fair bit, considering a lot of people bought them. Oh, look at that. Tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of them. Yippee! But at the very least, in anticipation to next year's Christmas, it'll rise back up in price again. Maybe not as high as its peak price it's had before in the previous years, but I can't help but assume it'll still go up in price. Maybe it won't be tons of profit, but it'll be something that will retain value. Because, of course, if you're considering wanting to sell your Ruskins right about now, you will reach a point where you'll have far too much money. You will not be able to listen to anything anymore, and you will have to purchase certain things that will that will allow you to be able to, sell more stuff. So, Festive Garlands, it's a perfectly fine shout. It's probably not the best in its current state, but maybe you could start looking around and considering making some nice long-term buy orders. Hey, it's up to you. But yeah, maybe Christmas lights. They do kind of dip in price a bit, but at one point, like a month or so ago, this was selling for about $9 to $10, which would have been like money back, Steam Wallet back. So fair enough. Or you could just probably go ahead and look at Counter-Strike. That's currently having a bit of a dip, not a huge one, but you could just look at some cases and just sit on them for a year or two. I mean, it's a perfectly fine option. Shut up. Right, anyway, Feel free to comment below what you might be looking at, but then again, you might want to keep that quiet, so that's a bit of a dumb thing to say. Whatever. It's a silly Rustore. This is all silly. Everything's silly. But I will sit here and say this at the very least. Guys, if you want to be up to date with all the newest skins that have been submitted to the workshop, yes, non-holiday skins, no more Christmas skins, feel free to go ahead and look at my most recent Rust Workshop skin checks video for December 24, 2024. All collection continuations are on display, as you can see right here. And of course, linked in the description, you can see the newest batch of skins that were submitted. Very nice, very cool. Some very interesting designs were put out. And I should point this out, for the January Forcewipe Rustore, it is expected that we'll have an early Rustore, of course with it being an update as well. But the skins that are submitted before Christmas, all right, they're also eligible to potentially be picked. I kind of wouldn't be surprised if Facepunch probably pick out some skins that are submitted a few months ago. We'll see, but yeah, it will still, all the skins from the previous batch just before Christmas are also eligible. So point I'm trying to get across is maybe we shall see. Right, so best of luck with you and your investments. You've probably been investing in skins all of this year, but now's the time to sell. Best of luck to each and every single one of you. Enjoy the profits, and let's see how things turn out. Let's see how ridiculous it's going to be next week with the January Forcewipe. Yeah, I look forward to it. So, yeah, catch you later. See you, goodbye.